Hey everybody, so sure you heard by now about the Brat's wife. They decided to go with a non-black donor. So the article here says, so the Brat's wife on why couple went with white sperm donor after rapper called black donor Jiminy Cricket. I'm sorry, Jiminy Cricket. So the article says the Brat's wife, Jessica Harris Dupart, has responded to criticism she received after the couple revealed they selected a white sperm donor for their pregnancy. In an interview with The Root, published last week, the couple said they had a short list of 300 potential donors and only one of them was black. That dude looked like Jiminy Cricket, Brat told the publication. I was like, I'm sorry, but that wasn't going to be my choice. But I think we did a great job with picking. He's handsome, he's tall, and I think he's going to look beautiful with my wife's egg. The quote sparkled a reaction from fans who considered the Jiminy Cricket comparison offensive. In a post shared on Instagram, Dupart said that genetic testing already limits the options for donations. And on top of that, she said, black men only make up 5% or less of sperm donors in the United States. In the caption for the post, she went into the situation further and said that the joke her wife made was distasteful. We had no idea going into this that our chances of a black donor would be slim to none, she wrote in the caption. Number 2, that I was a carrier of so many disorders. Number 3, that our window was so slim and such high risk because of age and more. Number 4, with my genetic testing, I'm the carrier of 4 disorders. That reduced our chances of a black donor down to one person. And that one person had very limited info or portfolio to judge on, including background. Now that I understand. Limited background. They don't know any characteristics about the man. What did he put down? So that right there, this is their option. But here's one thing I want to say. They did what black men do all day. And black men let black women know, we got options. I got some options. Them other women, they want us. They sure do that what I'm talking about. We got some options out here. And guess what? So do they. They explored their options. Maybe they were worried about him being from a background of seed of poverty. Maybe they were worried about, let's see, a lot of them don't take care of their children. So is he one of those guys? What about his education? So they're working with limited resources. My question is, why was his information not there, knowing that people make decisions based on the data? Now, here's Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket. Look, if the guy looked like Jiminy Cricket, I would pass on him too. A child is made up of a male and female, so Jiminy Cricket, if that's what he's looking like, I mean, that's what he looks like. I don't see what the big deal is. Black men put black women down all day, every day, from the color of our skin, from our sizes, how we wear our hair. If it's natural, it's a problem. If it's permed, it's a problem. If it's a wig, it's a problem. If it's a weave or a wig, it's a problem. Never mind, they sitting up here with a hair unit, a wig and a weave too. Tells me a lot of them been hating all these years on black women. So guess what? The lady, they have options. Black men been saying, we got options out here, man. We ain't got to deal with these sisters. So this right there, they complain so much about black women, you ought to be honored. And maybe she's concerned with the seed of poverty D. We know what that effect is on the community. It could turn out to be a boy. The next thing you know, hashtag, we don't know about the white man. And see, here's the thing. Our people a lot of times don't act on the data. So emotional. Don't act on the data. We just think, I put my picture up here, I'm a black man, let's go. What about your background, the history? So as usual in Blackistan, working with limited data. Why? So emotional. And it is their baby. They have their option. Black men have made it real clear. I guarantee you, if you're going to be honest, there are more negative aspects about them complaining, wishing to unlike black women than there are positive. So who in the hell do you think want to sit up here and carry your seat, especially with somebody that has resources, let alone intelligence? You're not the prime candidate. Maybe they're worried about, okay, just choosing him. There's limited data. So let's see. Is he going to be sitting up in the suburbs in a rich area want to run? I'm going to do a drive-by. Maybe they're concerned about, hey, again, they're working with limited data. They just see a black man that they say look like Jiminy Cricket. Maybe they're concerned about maybe raising a black man that may grow up to hate black women. Because it's very obvious that so many do. They're mad because they didn't have a dad. Well, I'm going to tell you one more time. Your daddy wasn't there because the joker didn't care. That's it. And your mama got stuck raising you. Now, what she could have done is drop you off at that fire station, but she didn't. So I'm assuming for all the good mothers, they did the best that they could. Money they spent on feeding, clothing you, making sure you had a room to sleep in the bed, they could have kept that money and spent it on themselves. But instead, no. I'm assuming they did the best that they could for you, and you still don't appreciate it. You still get wealth and pass it on to somebody else, aka a non-black community, a non-black woman. And that I wouldn't take a chance either. Oh hell no! It turns to be a son. He might grow up to hate black women, be sitting up on YouTube to my unaliving us, and you done fed and clothed that thing. So they have options. Maybe she don't want to carry the seed of poverty D. And that's what we have basically in the black community. So working with limited data, that lets me know maybe the data wasn't so good on him. It makes me wonder. What they're working with limited information. Why you didn't fill in all the blanks? Sir, why didn't you not provide more information to make yourself a more viable candidate? Maybe that information wouldn't have been so positive is what it makes me wonder. Why did you not fill in all the blanks? Especially if your picture is looking like Jiminy Cricket. But see, our people don't, mainly in the BC, they don't operate on the data. A friend of mine told me that he's like, yeah, our people they're not making decisions based on the data. We don't have the data. We're not taught that. So emotional. So they're doing, as I said before, people are doing what they want to do. When black men choose to get wealthy, it'll be a man and black woman help him to raise him, clothe him, and feed him. And then he becomes wealthy and he just goes off and don't show any kind of appreciation. Look at O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson took care of Nicole and Nicole's family. I read that he had them a business. And his mama was still stuck in that working class hood. That's where she died. You would think your son is wealthy and you stand here? Yeah. So maybe they were concerned. They didn't want to carry the seed of poverty D. And having him to, grow up, hate black women, and be a menace in society. Dusty Jr. is Dusty Sr. If you carry the seed of poverty D, Dusty Sr. is pretty much guaranteed to be Dusty Jr. Why do you think you see stories about, oh my goodness, and this man's father right here is in jail. That's where his daddy been. Look up, he's a teenager. He headed to the same prison. So now you can go meet your dad. On that show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. On Love and Marriage Huntsville is Marsaw, and his dad came to talk to him, okay? And his father came to talk to him again. Like father, like son. His father came to talk to him and he was saying, hey, you're working a whole lot, but I want you to have more time to enjoy, spend more time with your family. And his dad said, hey, he worked a whole lot too. Working a whole lot of overtime, what have you, because he wanted to make sure that the family had. You understand? He wanted to provide for his kids. And he's telling his kids, hey, you're working a whole lot. You need to kind of, have time to enjoy, you create memories. They had that conversation. So then you look at Marsaw, they've got all these businesses going on, the cigar lounge, housing, building, development, all that going on. It's not a wonder. He saw that from his father working. So here, all you have is one, just a black man, and you see how the collective is, and limited data. Makes you wonder why you didn't fill these blanks in. Maybe if he filled them in, that might make him less desirable. That's what I would makes me wonder. So like father, like son. So just like that on that show, Love in Huntsville, Marsaw's dad worked hard to obviously prepare for, from what I saw, what he depicted, to take care of them. He's doing the same thing for his family. The apple is not far, far from the tree. If the tree is hardworking and prosperous, it's a good chance. Now, there's a study about young black men and wealth that's totally different. We're not going to go there. But if the tree is dusty and degenerate, yeah, more than likely that child may be the very same thing unless someone, nature intervenes. But this is no surprise. They have options. Nobody wants a child looks like Jiminy Cricket. So like black men say they have options, they complain about black women all day. It's listen, we hear you. We hear you, the self-hatred. We hear you. We hear you. We see you. Actions speak louder than words. So maybe in this case here, they saw the donors, a list of 300. And one was black, looking like, as she said, Jiminy Cricket. We hear you, we see you, and I'm sure they saw what they saw and they made their decision. Now, for the white guy, I don't know what kind of person he is, I guess looking at the qualifications, they see a picture and I guess going by his data and they made their decision. Just like black men, listen, they're only doing what black men do every day, but see, black men, for some reason, it seems to me they really expect black women to, I don't know how, they really expect some kind of loyalty to the end. I'm going to put you down and I'm going to go ahead and stump you in that ground. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stump you in that ground. That's what I'm going to do you. And I'm going to pick up Becky and Ling Ling and Dustalina, Beckalina. I'm going to pick them up and put them over you now. But then if I go broke, after they don't, got the 2.5 kids, a house and a dog, and then they got their dad's cousin on the judge, on the bench, once if I go broke, then I'm going to come looking for y'all. We hear you. We see you. We see how you operate. Oh, the world sees it. The world sees it. What the non-black man said about a black man, he said, wow, he said, look at him. He said the black man chose a non-black woman. He said, what? He said, all because he's trying to be accepted. I thought, wow, that's interesting. He said he's hoping to be accepted. Hoping to be accepted. So maybe they want their child accepted. They don't know, hey, he's got limited data for the black applicant. They don't know if it's coming from the seed or poverty D. They don't want a stain on their legacy. See, black women are doing what black women are doing what they did right here. So black men do every day. They made a decision. They got options. A list of 300. They should have showed him because he's black, and boy, I can see I can see the attacks. Again, black women, for some reason, because black women so many are still loyal to a fault. They are still loyal to a fault to black men. That's kind of expected. You're expected to be, the come up girl. When he ain't got nothing to pot a window, he probably can't even spare a window. You know what I'm talking about? Some are so ignorant, it's unbelievable. I ain't liking her, man. I went to her house. She had a whole bunch of books. She talking about when the last time I read a book. I'm like, dang, I'm not in high school. That's something to consider. Again, working with limited data. So yeah, we hear you and we see you. The whole world does. And in a way, I'm kind of glad they did. Because there's so many members out there young. They're doing what they've been taught. And these men have made it perfectly clear how they feel about black women. And some of y'all still holding on. Good luck with that, boo-boo. See how they feel about children, the community. All this about this man that was 44 arrests now. Yeah, I'm sure he was a perfect citizen. Give him the key to the city because he on a train holiday. He hungry. Do you see a stove and refrigerator on the subway? You're not the train, but the subway. Where were the protests though when other black men kill decent black men that's trying to build? You know we don't have that many. Out of 10,000, I can find 3. Were the protests when that black man with a family put put some old fool and another put a dusty black man out of the club because he didn't know how to act? What were the protests then? A black man killing another black man. What were the protests then? What was the GoFundMe for that black man and his family? A black man came into a club harassing women. The bouncer was a black man with a family. Let him know you can't treat the women that way. That Negro, that ninja naker, super predator is the correct title. He waited in the parking lot until that black man got off work. All the black man just did was let him know you can't respect women like that. You can't do that here. Negroes love to tear down a business. Well, the black man got off work and there was a nasty, evil naker waiting in the parking lot and ran the man over and killed him. What were the protests? I don't recall any because there weren't any. I Googled and so where were the protests? Gee, a black woman, by the way, did you hear in Chicago? Did you hear? Let's see. She was in front of her house. A new officer, 24 years old, beautiful girl. Guess what? About to graduate law school on May 13th. It's not going to freaking happen. Why? Because she been shot dead. And they took her gun and her badge. What? I bet a naker did it. I'm sorry. This sounds like a chocolate drop. And they said the area where she was, it wasn't, so much a good area. 24 years old. About to become an attorney. Graduate on the May 13th. Today's the 7th. Not going to happen because she's been shot down dead. Chicago. And it could be a white person. But see, we do it so much. We see it every day. The Negroes don't know when you do this. You're programming. You are setting the narrative. Turn the news on. You can see the narrative of the community. So that right there, you don't have all the information. Is that what you come from? I don't know. I mean, I guess they think they're still a prize, and collectively, you're not. You're just not. You're not that guy. As a collective, you're not that guy. As a collective, you are not. You ain't that guy. You ain't got it like that, homie. Understand? The community is way out of order. Again, if you're a black woman, if you expect a man to try to get one to build, girl, you're more than likely in the BC give it one that will kill. The good, hardworking people, notice that. For all the decent black people that try to get something accomplished, look what happened in the BC. Where are the protests? Well, it's okay. We killing our own. When that white man come along, that's what I'm talking about. We got the protest. That Marine, and I don't know if he's part of the white supremacy or not. I'm going to tell you real quick right now, and this might rub you the wrong way. That's okay. Newsflash. If that was me on that subway and I got some fool up here hollering and I'm sitting around, he hungry and complaining about his life. I don't care if it's a white supremacy. If this fool got to sit up here and Negroes love it because they support it, don't lie. If you want to call this guy a white supremacist, and I'm sitting up here like, and I have a young person with me or a child, and I see a man yelling and threatening me, I don't give a darn who it is. Whoever can put this fool, get him away from me. I'm sorry to tell you, thank you. I just want to get I'm on the subway, get to point A to point B safely, and maybe make it home. You know what I'm saying? Because black women, it's a target on our back from everybody because we are the most unrespected, we're most least protected, unrespected. So that was me on that subway, and I got some fool. I don't care if he was doing the MJ impersonator. Who's bad? You know what I'm saying? Smooth criminal. 44 arrests. Boy, bye. So that was me sitting there. You can't have a weapon in New York City. You sure as hell can't have a gun. If that was me in that subway, put if it was you and you sitting there with your child, young people, and you got some fool, everything, the mess they do in Blackistan, they're always like a whole bunch of darn terror running their old darn mouth. So guess what? You wrote a check that you can cash. They got done punch your ticket for you. You hungry? Get your butt to a food pantry. You know it's not on the subway. Then I'm hearing about him assaulting someone. I bet it's a black woman. Not that it matters. I heard about an assault charge on the news. Then someone said, hey, is it true he dragged a 7-year-old? I don't know. If he did, you think I'm going to shed a tear? Hell to the no. So that was me on that train, just trying to get to point A to point B. Life is stressful enough. Things going on, good days, bad days. Then here I gotta come listen to you, Rand, sitting up here, up all on the train, yelling loud, threatening people. Then we don't know, okay, is the food finna come out of a bag any moment? People all stressed out. That's why nobody wants to live in Blackistan. They want to live like people, not a freaking war zone. So if that was me on that subway and them men got a hold of him, I'm gonna let you know right now, I would be relieved. I was thinking to myself, oh, thank goodness. You don't want anybody to die, but I'll be thinking to myself, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be thinking, okay, good. They got him kind of held down. I mean, 15 minutes chokehold, come on now. But seriously, I don't want somebody to go ahead and detain, eliminate the threat. But see, we don't want to talk about that part. Now the family want to show up and get a lawyer because they smell some money. But y'all couldn't get him help, get him committed. It's, man, I tell you, the BC is becoming a joke, and it's really not funny. It's really not funny. Y'all can help y'all loved one. Decisions. So they made a decision, and it's the one for them. And see, this letting the little Kangs know, no offense, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. The self-hatred is very true in the black community, and I think it's more so the black men than the women from what I see. I'm starting to see that. I think it's more so the black men. So who in the hell want to sit up here knowing the seed of poverty D is a high possibility? I would, oh hell no, you're not finna, you better move. So just like black men make decisions to build for other communities, always put black women down. Guess what? But it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. Surprise! They made a decision, and they're so used to the loyalty of black women, I think, they just thought, oh, it's going to be a black man, choose him. Not today. Because guess what? Black women, we have options. And the option was not Jimmy the Cricket. Bye.